Hi, this is Mike Schneider for CardRunners.com. Today I'm bringing you a Limit Hold'em Quickie, where I'm going to talk about a interesting hand that I played live. It was a blind versus blind scenario at Canterbury Park in a 30-60 Limit Hold'em game. The game was a six-handed game, as you can see here, and I guess before I start playing back the hand, I'll just say that small blind is an aggressive, tough player who primarily played online heads up until the shutdown of everything, but has also played a lot of hands at Canterbury and out west a little bit too. So I mean, he's not. So even though he mostly played online heads up, he's not anywhere close to a slouch in fuller games, which this game at the time it was running was six-handed. So we'll just get started here. I guess I already said blind versus blind, which in any case, fold it around to him, he raises, I make the call, which that'd be a Jack 9 offsuit would be a hand that I'd 3-betted a solid chunk of the time against the small blind open raise and call sometimes too. I mean, there's pros and cons to both, as I'm sure you're aware, where I mean, 3-betting it just sometimes will help you win some pots where he completely whiffs, like say like it's an ace-2-2 flop, he will check fold it a decent amount, or let's say he has a hand like 6-5 suited and the flop comes queen 8-3, he's liable to check fold. So just extra ways to win a pot that way. Not that you wouldn't be able to win the queen 8-3 pot with Jack 9 playing it this way. But so anyway, we get a flop queen 10-6, he bets, and I decide to call. Against guys who are smart, aggressive players, I tend to gravitate towards wanting to call on this flop rather than raising, just because, especially with his heads-up experience, when you see queen 10-6, if you get raised on the flop, you automatically start thinking of king jack, jack 8, jack 9, 8-7, you start going through your head all these possibilities of hands that are draws that you can beat. So I just feel like, especially, I mean, if say I have a hand like 6-7, I'll probably call it that on the flop too, and I'll throw in some calls with a 10 or a queen, or I mean, I'll generally raise those a lot, but sometimes call with them too, just to make him decide if he has a hand like 7-5 suited, is he gonna barrel on the turn, or will he just give up? Because if he has 7-5, like I'd probably get away from the hand cheaper. Or even say the turns a 7. I mean, that gives me more options at Jack 9. I could decide. I mean, hey, I guess I didn't really turn any more outs, but it looks like I could have a hand that turned 2 pair like 7-6, or I could have slow played a queen, or had a 8-9 that didn't raise the flop and turned a straight. But anyway, just because like I feel against tough people you don't have as much fold equity as at one point in time 5-10 years ago you used to have, I just kind of want to look at the turn, especially like say it turns a 6 after raising the flop. If he has ace high, he's going to call a turn for sure today. Where like turns a 6, he could bet, I could raise, and I'm very easily representing a 6 because I think he'd assume that I'd call that on the flop more often than raise it.